Hello everyone, this is Justice Cury here. Brought some special guests with me and we're going to talk about some awesome custom work very shortly. But first I want to introduce everyone. First we have the one, the only, MOTU Joe.
What's going on?
How you doing, Joe?
Good.
Good. And over here we have Brock. Brock's an awesome expert on MOTU, just as MOTU Joe is. And MOTU, for you that don't know, is Masters of the Universe, short abbreviation. But anyway, let me cut to the chase. Let's talk about custom work. When I first got into toys, I didn't really care about customs. It was more about collecting and trying to get a full run of figures, like full run of G.I. Joes, full run of Heman. So MOTU Joe, what do you have a full run of? What do you think?
I have a full run of Loose. I have I have a full run of the classics. I'm trying to get as much merch as I can. I have a full run Loose of Mask. A crap load of Dragon Ball Z, and yeah, a lot of fun stuff.
Now, if we went to Brock's full runs, we'd be here for another 5 minutes because this guy has tonnage of full runs. He was telling me he's got superpowers and whatnot. I'm going, oh my gosh, you got all those kinds of awesome things. Well, when we get to a certain level of collecting, you go, well, I kind of reached the finish line, per se. What else should I get into? And I've always kind of seen, people posting, custom work, and I didn't really care about that in the beginning. Well, now it interests me because it's like an artist, showing off their skills. So let me show you just what I'm talking about. First, we're going to talk about some G.I. Joe customs, and then we'll move into our bread and butter, which is He-Man, because we love He-Man. So let me turn the music down a little bit for you all. First up, and I'm going to talk about each artist, and you can message them on Facebook. I'll put their names and the correct spellings in the description of this YouTube video, so make sure you subscribe, and then down in the notes where I have it right under the video will be each person's name with what they did, and you can reach out to them, and I'm sure they would be more than willing or happy to do custom work for you as well. So first, Jason Lacey made his debut on one of the Facebook groups. I think it was called Lost Toys, and I saw some of his work and I went, oh my god, this guy's a freaking Picasso. And the first one he did was this, a battle damaged bat. So this is a vintage G.I. Joe figure that he added some custom work done to it, which includes obviously the leg right there. He busted open and put some wires in there. Damaged the head, but I don't know what you would call that. What would you call that inside the head? There's some just internal workings of a.
Yeah,
looks
like the tubes and.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he ground down the plastic to shape that
show
somehow.
Like battle damage.
Yep. So right when he did this figure, I reached out to him and I went, oh my gosh, I need to own this. And he goes, yeah, I normally do custom work on these other lines, but I'm thinking of doing G.I. Joe. I go, well, you are very, very good, so can I buy this? And he goes, sure. And he offered it to me for like a very low price. I'm going, oh my gosh, all right, can you do more for me? He said, absolutely. I love doing it. I have a passion for toys and custom work. So next, he took an ordinary, like the junkiest 80s figure that, in my opinion, of G.I. Joe, which is Deep Six. Everyone has like 8 Deep Six.
He's not junky, he's cool.
He's cool. How many Deep Six do you have? He's not cool. Come on, see? They get you can buy them for $1. No one wants Deep Six. But look what he did. He changed the color because the color is normally just all gray with a figure's head in the dome. He busted off the dome part, put a skull in there, painted the skull up, actually put barnacles right there, and just, on his leg as well, some barnacles. Somehow, he made it look like there's actual rust. Like this figure was, laying on the bottom of an ocean floor for years and years, and, was brought up. I mean, I love it. But the top piece of his whole, one of the top pieces of my entire collections that I'm just in love with, I just got it a few weeks ago, is this. Feast your eyes on the Deep 6 scuba suit. Now, Deep Star 6, which you can see on his chest, is a 80s movie you may or may not have seen. I saw it when I was a kid, and it scared the living crap out of me. There was a monster in it, there was people dying, and my parents should have never let me watch this movie, but I watched it, and it left an impression on me. I love scuba diving. I got this pretty generic suit that I was putting, G.I. Joes in there. It was all white, just kind of looked crappy. I don't even know what toy manufacturer made it. I don't see it on there, but
yeah, it looks crappy. I should take it.
I'll
just take this home right now. No, I'm just kidding.
So I sent it to him, and I go, you know what? Can you do your magic to it? And he goes, what do you want me to do? And I go, I love the movie Deep Star 6. Can you make it look like one of the suits? So he took, screen accurate color, put kind of the copper tones on there, rust looking. Painted every square inch. Yeah, even textured on there, and it looks. Put my name on there, little justice right there. You probably can't see it. On the back, the vent or whatever you want to call it. Just put that. Textured rust. It looks like it was actually made out of metal. He's like I said, an artiste. These stickers are on there. He added, put the number. Another aspect of this, which was fairly amazing, this drill is one of those battle accessory pack drills that came with vintage G.I. Joes, that he took apart and added the drill, because before it had 2 of these claws for this suit, and now he has a little piece of G.I. Joe there, and I can display him with my Joes. Again, if you want something really painted well and added, and contact Jason Lacey, because again, he is an artiste. Moving right along, let me talk about, and I've done a video before with the Heman Castle Grayskull. Check out the paint job on the, oh my gosh, I already got a spider up there. Anyway, he put moss, it just really pops. So what do you guys think about this? Now, what are you doing? Don't be. You're gonna. Oh my gosh! Can't take these guys anywhere. As I. You're gonna
sorry, I don't think I
do
can.
it. Do it.
Is it gonna work? We're totally distracted.
All right, now it'll work. Do it.
Oh!
Hey! Oh my gosh.
Okay, no, I'm not doing it.
The anticipation, the build-up. Not doing it. Anyway, moving to customs. Castle Grayskull. I love what he did with it.
Yeah.
Chris Middlecamp is the name. A wonderful paint job. Put the wood in there with the moss. I got my trooper right there. Just the difference between this and the original. Again, let me show you. Is mind-boggling. So the original is, we all know, we all love it, but it's blah, quick, shoddy paint work. This actually took his time, got into the texture, so it just looks like a real castle. Someone made a custom, my buddy Joe made a custom of me, because I'm always wearing a hat, and I busted my foot recently. If you watched any of my other videos, I had a cast. I'm limping around. It's healing up. I'm still not 100%, but it's getting better. As you can see, another battle android trooper, a bat figure, but this time someone molded the plastic and made him look kind of like a horde trooper. Put the sticker on there. Amazing. I think Black Major is the guy's name, or his tag name online is Black Major, and he makes tonnage of different types of G.I. Joe figures, which he did this red one as well, which Jason Lacey then made some aftermarket chest stickers that are 3D molded. He painted them, and then I can just stick them on my bat, which again looks pretty neat. Moving right along, we're gonna this one, Chris Middlecamp. Also, I asked him for a diorama that I can pose my GI Joes and take pictures of them. I know it's dorky, but I love doing it. And he did this kind of like burned out, bomb sheltered little room full with bunk bed, table, bricks. This is styrofoam that he carved each little brick in there, painted it all. These barrels there are probably just a generic color that he just made them look weathered, gas tank and everything. I'm sure your eyes are popping at this guy right here. Low Light is my favorite GI Joe, and we're going to talk about another guy shortly named Matt Walford. And Matt did this as a favor and painted me up my favorite GI Joe figure, and I cannot believe, it just boggles the mind how he can get an airbrush and create that much detail in the figure. Again, one of those things that I will cherish and never sell as long as I'm alive. Even this was just a black gun. He put the wood in there, you know, the green on wood. Bring the wood. Look at that. The texture in the wood. There is actually, look at this. There's texture. It's not just a brown piece. Isn't that nuts?
And he even did that.
And he even did the bipod. I love it, man.
No way, did you do the scope yet?
Yep, there's the little green spot for the scope. I cannot believe it. Matt, we're going to save Matt's piece for the end. We're going to show you, Motu Joe and I had him do some He-Man figures that are just surprise you. We're going to save the best for last. Sorry for the other people that have contributed. I think you're all the best. But you're all like my children. There's one that I like a little bit more than the others. I'm going to edit that out later. Backpack. Just really cool work done right here. Also on eBay, I found someone that makes these like custom arcade machines, pinball machines. I got Operation Wolf, and they can do it to any scale. You can even see in there if you can, the screen from the video game. And it looks pretty neat when I'm displaying them with my figures. Oh, can't forget, this was one of the very first customs I ever received. My wife, for Christmas, reached out to one of my toy buddies that goes by the name of Steven. How does he pronounce his last name online? Bishotti. Bushottee. And I had mentioned briefly in a conversation I would love to see an exploding bat like in the cartoon. And I've shown you a bunch of bats already because, as you can tell, he's one of my favorites. Got a whole pinball machine full of them. Well, my wife reached out to him and said, what would Justice like for his Christmas present? And Steven made this and gave it to my wife, and I opened it Christmas Day a couple years back. And it is an actual bat exploding. Steven's very talented. He's an artist as well. I have one of his pieces in my room, which I'll show you here in a moment after you gaze upon the bat. So follow me. I'll show you his Mount Rushmore painting. So in the back of this diorama of Toxo Vipers, you got Mount Rushmore with the bad guys there. I love it. It's neat. And holy moly, we forgot another original Jason Lacey pick. He took a Toxo Viper, G.I. Joe, 80s, and did this to it. Made it look like something out of the game BioShock, if you ask me. Added these holes, vents. He's a magician. I just cannot believe humans can possess that amount of talent. It's like the Michelangelo. Some random customs I've picked up along the way. You know, I don't even know who did them. Here's a He-Man body type Mega Man. I love video games, as you can see, so Mega Man's one of my favorites. And picked them up relatively cheap. So I Added him to my collection. Another random He-Man type custom I got was this one. And it's funny too, because anytime I'm in here and I'm, you know, showing off my collection, and people are always like, hey, wait, what's that? Everyone doesn't care about the Roton and Twistoids. The Eternia, they're like, I want to see that Batman, the custom MOTU Batman figure. Again, a random purchase at one of the toy shows I went to a number of years ago, and it's neat. Someone used their craft to make a Batman figure using He-Man parts. Who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something. Lines! Where's my teleprompter?
Yeah, it's over there.
It's over here, okay. Talked about Jason, Chris Middlecamp, Stephen Buscati. Yep, Victor. And you want to say his last name?
No.
Victor
S.
Victor S. Again,
respect.
The spelling of his name will be in the notes. You can look and then message him on Facebook. He even has a website. Maybe I can put a link to his website in there. Extremely talented, and you're going to see why momentarily. And MOTU Joe and I actually I wish I waited maybe a week or so, because we got 2 pieces.
They're awesome.
And they're awesome. What, you want to say what you're getting?
It involves 2 iconic 80s super action heroes. One named Mr. T and one named Mr. Rambo.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And it's one figure.
It's one figure.
It's one. How can you make one figure with those things? You will see. You'll see later. Friend request MOTU Joe. He'll show you later. But Victor Sorazinsus. I mean, literally, there are how many letters to his last name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 letters to his last name. He's from the UK someplace. But one of the first figures I picked up from him, how he did this, I have no idea. Let me set it right there. Look at, if you love 80s video games, you'll know that this is Duck Hunt. I mean, he hand painted that. This television, or like computer monitor, whatever he used, with the dog that laughs at you if you miss things when the ducks are flying, he painted that, and then actually painted, you know, one of the MOTU guns. Now this is going to blow your mind, folks. Watch this. Whoa! Magnets. All of his figures are molded, then painted a little bit. Obviously, most of the chest, I mean all the chest for the He-Man figures are going to be the same, but he molds them in different colors. Magnets. Arm. Magnet. Other arm. Magnet. Oh, yes. And then finally, the computer monitor I was showing you. Magnet. So that's a fun piece. Maggot.
Wrong toy line.
And then racing another one. Here, can you grab the original Scareglow?
Oh.
Real Scareglow. So this is Scareglow He-Man, painted up to look kind of like Scareglow. Oh, we could turn off the lights. So Scareglow, it's right here. You know, a little yellowed from age. It just happens. Here, turn that light off.
Oh, it's right here.
That's going to be hard to see just because I have all the kinds of other lights. Take my word for it. This glows in the dark, people. And just like all the rest of them, oh, his head's floating above his body. Oh, he's falling apart. He just broke. No, he didn't. And he comes back together as I'm domino affecting everything. Oh. Yes. Mix and match, folks. It's amazing. It's fun. As a joke, we ended up getting a, I don't know how to say this politically correct, a He-Man figure that had glitter sparkles all over him. Very effeminate He-Man figure, and we gave it to Stephen Buscati as a prank gift one year, and he got a kick out of that. So, Victor Sorazin's notes, again, look at my notes and his website. He's got tonnage, and the one I'm getting from him is a Boba Fett figure that's in the MOTU style.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be really neat.
What?
There is one more thing I want to show you. Oh yeah, this is a pinball machine with the same details and art that the original Mario Brothers or Super Mario pinball machine had. That's scaled down for a G.I. Joe, which I love and thought that was fun. I have one more arcade machine. Oh gosh, I used to play Killer Instinct like crazy. I love being Jago. And another scaled down version of a arcade machine of Killer Instinct. And obviously all this other stuff I've shown in other videos, so you can check on some of my prior videos, and I'll go into more detail later, so make sure you subscribe so you'll see, because I've never really even touched the cream of the crop case. But last but not least, we're going to talk about Matt Walford's work. Now Matt is in what country, guys?
UK.
In the UK someplace. So Matt has a gift that most people don't have, and that's the gift of airbrushing. Now all the other ones you've seen are typically hand painted. Matt is an artiste with airbrushing, as you're going to see shortly. Let's start with Hordak. Now Hordak, as you're instantly seeing, has a ton of more detail. I mean, here's an original Hordak. It's neat, we love it from our childhood, but you start looking at this one, look at the imp, how he painted, you know, bringing out the texture and the detail. Even the head of this, I've never really looked at it much, you know, never focused on it. I don't know what you'd call it, some kind of monster or whatnot. But I mean, just how everything pops right off, like he's a real, you know, cartoon character. But that's kind of the way we're going with collecting. You know, you get everything, you start looking for rare pieces, like some of these 2-packs back there, and then custom.
Leo Faker.
Leo Faker.
Or you can just send, you know, the 2-packs my way, because I'm good with that. You can make more room for your customs.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
You know what? I'll think about that. I'll dwell on that point. Yes. I don't want to show Faker off yet, just because I want to do another video just about him. And Leo Faker from India, we'll talk about him some other time. All right. Let's bring this off so we can kind of show it down here. All right. Can you remove Heman for me there, Brock? Now, Matt did another one of his amazing custom work with the airbrush. I mean, you don't see any paint strokes. Look at the eyes. I mean, it's like a real face on He-Man. It's not like Victor's where you can pop it off. Matt actually uses
gold on there.
Yeah. Matt uses real 80s figures. This is a He-Man figure. Oh, let's look at the back of the shield.
Oh, yeah.
So check this out. You got a shield that, oh, wow, that's great. Oh my God! The back of it, he again
Wood grain
made
on
it look like wood grain. Yes, yes. What else is pretty neat about
And
this
he
one?
did the jewel on the belt.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even the boot straps.
Gosh dang, that is just out of control.
Even the handle on the sword, he did it like it's wrapped in leather.
Look at that. Yes, with 2 different tones of brown to look like what Brock said, like it's wrapped in leather. Behind He-Man is his trusty steed, the Battle Cats. The eyes, what were you guys saying about the eyes? This is iconic to something or unique to something?
Filmation.
Filmation.
The way the cartoon.
Okay, yep. You got the, I don't know what you would call those, kind of like jewels, or not jewels, but painted up the horn with the grain and the, if you can see it real well, it looks amazing. But look at this, guys. How amazing is that face? It is out of control, if you ask me. Can you grab a regular? Yep, he's right behind you.
Yes, and then it can close.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have I don't see the saddle anywhere, but
My daughter's playing around with it. All right.
oh, it's right there. It's right there.
Gotcha. So you look at this. Wow, it's awesome. We all love it. Yep, we had it. It's great. I still love it. But then this. This is Whoa. Night and day difference. In the mouth, little dots right there for whiskers. Oh, wouldn't that be neat to add some whiskers in it? Like a cat.
Real whiskers.
Real whiskers. And then, look at these, the stripes. What were you saying about them when we were talking about the stripes on them?
He gave the stripes down the tail like the original cat did in the 74 or whatever year it was. And
Do I have one?
yeah, if you look
the
at
tiger.
your tiger there, the first releases of the Battle Cat that came out still had the paint stripes on the tail. It's the super elusive version of this is to have these yellow stripes here.
Oh, yes.
So that's what he did, is he paid homage or was cognizant of that and did that.
Gotcha. Yep, that's real neat. And if you're going, what is this back there? I'm going to do a whole video focusing on battle cats and variations and from different countries and molds and whatnot some other time. So again, make sure you subscribe. But this time we're just going to talk about the customs. Repeating the name, Matt Walford is his name. So friend request him on Facebook, ask for work to be done, because I mean, you're not paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Yeah, his work is going to cost a little bit of money, but think of the time. Could you do this?
No.
Could you do this?
I did.
Yeah. I know. That is perfect. That is perfect. Yes.
Look at the eyes.
Look at all the detail in that eyes.
in the metal.
Oh my God, he really got it. The jewel on his belt. But yeah, there's only a few people that have, the patience and the time and the know-how to be able to do this and to connect with people in the community. And this is an awesome thing that I would, again, never part with. There's a lot of things I would sell in my collection because I can get them back. But stuff like this, if Matt stops doing that, I might not be able to ever get one like that of that quality or caliber. So yep, that's our friend Heman.
Yeah, I'm on the fence of having Matt do a whole
Yeah, this guy right
All of
here is thinking about the entire set
The whole series.
being done.
set.
Like
Say
we're-
the Giants
aside
and
from no.
Aside
No,
from these
no,
two
no
big
Giants.
guys.
no Giants and no lasers.
Now, how amazing. You just saw He-Man and the Battle Cat and Hordak. But do
Yeah,
the
I'm
whole
like
line
two
that
figures
looks like
away
that.
from- or
I
three
just got,
figures away from
look at,
the
I got
whole
goosebumps.
second loose.
I have goosebumps
It's
of
just
how amazing that would
robots
look.
and squeeze.
Granted,
Squeeze!
it would
I wanna
cost
see
a lot of
Matt
money,
Wolford squeeze.
Yeah.
but it would
There you
be
go.
epic beyond scale. So, Panther and Skeletor. So Panther, as you already know, was flocked, so it has that fuzzy fur on him. I think he just used a battle cat and then painted him. But let me kind of show you in the light here, again with the detail and the ferocity of that, and just kind of getting into the grooves of his muscles to make it look like an actual cat, and just the color too. Where's my? Do I got a Panther?
Don't see one, bud.
My daughter's.
Oh yeah, I got one over here.
You got a. Then with the saddle, look at that. How neat! It's my beat up Panther.
Yeah.
I got like 20 of them laying around. But as you can see, the Panther had that fuzzy flock to it, and this one's all jacked up. But this gives it just a whole nother depth. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Last but not least, we have the Destruction, the Skeletor with my horrible.
That might be my favorite one.
That's probably one.
He does the bone
Yeah,
color on the
it's-
face,
it's-
not the green.
It's got the English mount
Yeah, it just has everything
nailed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that face. Oh my gosh, it looks like a real skeleton right there. It's just not painted white. There's different tones in
bone
there.
color.
It's a bone color. You're right. And with the chest armor, got bones running up there, and he just made great decisions on what colors and textures. Even with this Havoc staff, look at that. He made it an actual like ram bone head with a little gold under there, and just the staff kind of like that. Oh my goodness, his feet. And I haven't really even looked at them or dwelt on them, because Joe, how long ago did we get these?
Last week.
Last week. So we've only owned them for a week, and I haven't had a chance to really admire him too much. He did the same thing as in He-Man's.
Did the fingernails.
Oh my gosh, you're right. He did the freaking fingernails on these things. Wow.
Again,
Just
his
detail.
jewel, as inappropriate as that sounds, in the chest there is amazing.
You're right. He kind of made it so it's
It's got the
has a
gold
glare. Oh my gosh, a gold outline to it. Whoo-wee. Attention to detail is everything. I kind of had to have him modify him a little bit because I wanted my Skeletor and He-Man to be able to ride on the cats.
Because he glues the legs
He glues the legs.
to minimize paint rub or something.
Correct. Because if you leave the rubber in there to move them, then the paint kind of gets rubbed off, as you can see right there. So Joe ended up getting some of these. As MOTU Joe got some. Which ones did you get, Joe?
I got He-Man, Skeletor, Battle Cat, but I also got the Castle Grayskull door display, which is the door basically cut in half. So
Yes.
you take the door from Castle Grayskull that folds down. He uses the teeth that stick up. He cuts it in half, takes the door front, makes it the back like this, so it stands like that.
Yep.
And then the figure sits perfectly right in there. He adds moss. He adds there's patina to the brass buckles and stuff, or copper, where it's starting to fit. It's
Yeah.
astounding
Yes,
work.
yes. And speaking of astounding, if you're just tuning in, this is one of your first videos you've ever seen. Look back about, I don't know, 2-3 videos before this one, and you're going to see a collection of MOTU Joes. And MOTU Joe has a room like mine, but I have G.I. Joe, He-Man, other lines. He has just He-Man every square inch of his wall.
It's amazing.
It is really neat. Rock was there as well, and just the amount of, like, I have all the figures, of course, and he has them too, but he's got the merchandise, all the things that were
The stuff you forget about.
right, stuff we forgot about, and then stuff you've never seen from other countries.
Yeah.
Like
My
this.
room is full of this type of stuff.
Right. These are
This-
gloves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Store displays up there and whatnot. So check out that video. You'll enjoy it if you love He-Man. So Matt Walford, you knocked it out of the park. All of you guys that I talked about, Victor and Chris and Steven,
They're all special in their
they all have a
certain way.
exactly, because if they weren't special, I wouldn't have them in my collection.
And pay the money for it.
And pay the money for it,
Regardless,
exactly.
yeah, it's,
Exactly.
They're not the cheapest, but
Right. So again, if you've seen anything that you like in my collection that I've kind of talked about, and you're like, oh crap, I don't remember the name of the guy that did it, I'm gonna do it in my description. The name, maybe a website. You can friend request them. I'll put what they did in my collection, so you can recall and go, oh, I really like that exploding bat. I'll put Stephen Bisciotti, exploding bat. I like the battle damage bat with the head wound and the leg thing. Okay, that was Jason Lacey, or Matt Walford, or Victor with the magnets. So yes, guys, again, I want to stress the importance of community. Find people in your area, even if it's an hour, because MOTU Joe's got a 45-minute drive over here. Brock's got 15-minute drive. But find people in your area that share this passion, because sitting at home doing this by yourself is no fun. I mean, it's all right, but it's not as rewarding
It's
as
way
actually.
better.
Yes, finding those friends and those contacts and that community. Even if it's just going to your local toy shows. I mean, you just don't stumble across them. You got to go talk to people. So community, finding friends.
or toy stores.
Toy stores, yeah, go to your local
Yeah,
toy
talk
stores.
to the owner, become friends. I mean,
Exactly.
They know more people.
Hang out there. Go, hey, who else is into, say you're into My Little Pony. I'm not judging you. You collect how you want to collect.
Bronies.
Bronies, say you like them. I'm sure there's another brony in your area. So you collect how you want to collect, and I'll collect how I like to collect. So all of us,
I like to collect. Just take the part and go.
all of us at Justice Curry's, we're going to sign off. So goodbye, everyone.
Yep.
Later.